This is a short video that's going to go over the concept of demand elasticity as it relates to price. So there are two types of demand elasticity. There's elastic demand and inelastic demand. Elastic demand means that a change in price will cause a change in demand. So elastic meaning able to change, inelastic meaning a change in price will have very little effect on the demand, meaning it doesn't change. There is one way of telling what the type of elasticity is for any given product. This is the total receipts test. And this is when we use the price of the product and the quantity sold at each price to determine kind of what the relationship is. And so you can think of this like our y equals mx plus b to just graph it. And so we will see an inverse relationship or a negative slope for an elastic demand, meaning the total receipts increase as the company decreases the price. And then for inelastic demand, it is going to be a direct correlation or a positive slope, and that's going to be for inelastic. And the total receipts will increase as the company increases the price. Then there's unit elastic demand, and the total receipts will neither increase nor decreases when the price changes. And I'm pretty sure this would be a horizontal line, meaning you don't have any slope. There are a few things that affect elasticity, specifically four determinants. One of them is availability of substitutes. So if there are more substitutes available, demand will become more elastic. If there are less substitutes available, demand becomes less elastic. The reason being, if I have a substitute for a product and the price of the product that I use changes, then I'll just go buy the substitute if the price of the substitute hasn't changed. If I don't have a substitute for the product that I like to use, then if the price changes, I'm kind of stuck with it. And so this is, the case for any very specific and particular branded product. Pharmaceuticals, any sort of a brand name medication is going to be like this, where there is no substitute for brand name Wellbutrin. So even though the price has increased, I'm kind of stuck with it. I have to buy it because there aren't any substitutes. Percentage of budget demand is more elastic when the product's price represents a large portion of the income because of the impact that it can have. So an increase in the price of a product that represents a large portion of the consumer's income means that it could eat up a substantially larger amount of the person's income. So that means the demand is going to be more elastic. If the demand if the product is a small portion of the consumer's income, then the demand is going to be more inelastic, meaning I don't really spend that much of my money on it to begin with, so a change in the price I'm not really going to notice in the overall scheme of things. Another thing that feeds into this concept is the necessity versus luxury, and this one very much makes sense. So if I need it, it's inelastic because it doesn't matter if the price changes. If I don't need it, it's a luxury, then it's elastic. It does matter if the price changes because I don't actually need it. So an example of this is regular milk versus organic premium milk. The demand is going to be fairly inelastic for your baseline regular milk, but then for organic premium milk, the elasticity is going to be higher because as the price changes, if the price gets too high, then I'll just go buy regular milk because I don't need the premium version. Urgency of purchase, this one is very much like the last point. So demand is inelastic if the purchase is urgent, and elastic if the purchase can be deferred. So if I want it right now, I don't care how much it costs. The price can change, but the demand won't change. If I can wait to have it done, then the price can change and I will just wait longer. an example of this is the concept of emergency services. So think of a 24-hour plumber. They charge an obscene amount of money because it's an urgent problem and you need somebody to take care of it. But, the guy who cuts my grass, if he starts charging me too much, I'll just put it off. I don't need to pay for it, or a haircut or something like that because it's not that important. So next we're going to look at price ceilings and price floors, and then we will take a quiz.